Hey guys, this is Deadly. Today I'm going to be talking about how to maximize your potential from your garrisons, in particular to making money. Now, with garrisons, it can be a bit overwhelming, especially if you're just getting into the game, and I've been speaking to a lot of my friends who have been neglecting it quite a bit, and that's a bit of a shame because it's actually such a major part of this expansion. It actually kind of keeps me playing on a daily basis, even though I can only play for a couple hours, every week, really, not a day, even a couple hours a week here and there. I still get to jump on and do some garrison stuff and make some money. So, first off, you're going to want to decide what buildings. Number one, like as soon as you start building your garrison and trying to figure out what buildings you want to make, there's three different types of plots: large, medium, and small, and you can only have a certain number of each building. You're only allowed to have 2 large buildings at a level 3 garrison. You're only allowed to have, I believe, 2 medium-sized buildings and 3 small buildings. And so you're going to have to pick and choose which ones you're going to want to get. And I'm going to discuss what my options are and why that might be a good choice for you as well. So, starting things off, and not all my buildings are level 3, but I'm going to get into that, why that is very soon. Because obviously, you can get the buildings to level 3, but there's certain achievements you need to unlock first. So for your large buildings, I currently have the barracks and the war mill. And I don't have the goblin workshop, and I don't have the spirit lodge, and I do not have the stables. The reason why I'm using the barracks war mill combo is because I'm leveling up my followers. Followers are an extremely important aspect of your garrison. They can make gold for you. They can get resources for you. They can get equipment, gear for you, like really good gear. They can get legendary abrogator stones, which can be used in turn to continue your legendary ring quest line. They can get a bunch of cool stuff, including salvage if you have the salvage yard. So your followers are an incredibly important aspect of the game, and you're going to want to keep them. Well, number one, you're going to want to get as many followers to level 100 as possible, and you are going to want to gear them particularly well so they can run these missions. So at the barracks, you get additional patrol missions that reward your followers with higher levels of experience and other interesting rare missions. You can also get followers with bodyguard traits that you can actually use to accompany you, but mainly what we're doing this for is the patrol missions. So our followers, whenever they're lower level, whenever you start a garrison, you're not going to have all 100 level followers. You're going to have to build them up. So one of the best ways to do that is just by pumping out as many missions as possible, and that's where the barracks comes in. I have the war mill because the war mill allows me to put in work orders to get better gear crafted for my followers, to do more missions that are higher level with better rewards, especially money. So with the war mill, you can also get some interesting transmogrification, but if you're a troll, don't bother. If you're an orc, you're gonna have some cool options, but oh my god, maybe I might show you guys later how bad that is, but I wouldn't worry about it. You can also do more, like lots of work orders, and in addition to that, if you get a level 3 war mill, you can get one of your 3 seals of tempered fate per week at no cost. You just get one, which is really fucking awesome. Like all these other buildings, they don't really do that much. Like, great, you can create a siege vehicle once a day. Awesome. You can get waystones to different areas inside of Warlords of Draenor. Great, but I can just fly there or harf there, or get a mage to teleport me like someplace. Like it's okay, but it's not as bad. Stables is probably the only one from the large buildings that I think is really cool. You can get some rare mounts. You can increase your mount speed in Draenor by 20%, and you no longer get dazed by enemies while riding mounts outdoors in Draenor zones. You can also just, if you're a gatherer, you can basically go druid mode, and you don't have to dismount whenever you're gathering resources outdoor in Draenor. So if you weren't interested in the patrol missions or leveling, or you weren't interested in the gear that you're getting, say you were getting so much gear from salvage, I would go stables. That would be my next choice, and I may get that down the road after I get all my followers to decent item levels and I don't really need anything. I might blow up the war mill or barracks and move on. Now let's talk about medium buildings, because there are, in my honest opinion, there are two that can actually make you money on a daily basis, and the rest are kind of one building which is almost like necessary, and two buildings which have unique opportunities. So first off, the barn and the gladiator sanctum are going to be the two buildings that are going to start netting you some serious cash. The barn is actually probably one of the craziest buildings to get. Not only can you get fur, leather, and meat from this building, you can also get savage blood. And savage blood is probably the most expensive single material right now in Warlords of Draenor. It costs anywhere between 1,000 to 4,000 gold, depending on your server. The reason why, in over time, this will get smaller, but because the expansion is so new and not everybody has level 3 barns, there's only a set number of people who can get savage bloods. So that's why this building is so important. Lumber mill. And that's why I have it. I currently just got it, and I just upgraded it to level 2, and I'm starting to get my achievement done so I can upgrade to a level 3, specifically to make savage bloods. Lumber mill. So the lumber mill, I have it currently. It's not my favorite. It's very simple. You go out there, you cut down trees, you turn those trees into garrison resources. You use those garrison resources to either build materials for your followers, building upgrades, and some other things. Very small amount of things. Mainly upgrades for your dudes and upgrades to your buildings. That's what you need resources for. So if you have one of these, you can constantly start pumping out more resources, especially if you want to build a lot of, like if you want to like basically arms race your followers and you want to get them up an extremely high item level, just make sure you're doing all your lumberyard work orders every day, and you'll start getting enough resources to really crush out the war mill and start getting your characters up to extremely high level. The follower, or the Frost Wall Tavern. This is a fun building that I kind of want to get at some point. I'm thinking whenever I get my followers up to a certain level, I'm going to blow up the lumberyard and build, or lumber mill, and build a Frost Wall Tavern. And the reason why is because you can get some really awesome followers from the tavern that you normally can't get, and a couple quests which you can do to get like very epic followers, like for example Leroy Jenkins and shit. So you'll be able to get those types of followers through the tavern. And if you don't have it, you kind of just have to use the followers that you find in the world and then level them up and gear them up individually. So it's got some pretty awesome stuff, and it also unlocks some treasure hunting missions and stuff. This is always a fun option. The medium buildings are hard. I find I don't have too many issues with the large buildings. The medium ones are pretty difficult to choose. Gladiator Sanctum. Alright, so I had one of these, and I just was not PvPing as much, if not at all, so far this expansion, so I got rid of it. However, if you go to Ashran and you get into a 40-man raid for 10 minutes, you'll probably get 300 bones, and you're pretty much fucking good. Like, you'll get conquest, you'll get honor, and you'll get cold just by submitting bone work orders. It's so easy. Like, so if you want like a really easy building that's generating you honor, conquest, and gold, get a Gladiator Sanctum. You can also get access to the High Mall Coliseum Gladiator Tournament, and if you win that, if you come first place, you have a chance on getting conquest gear. So that's fucking sweet. So you're gonna want to do that at some point. You also get some other minor benefits like safe falling, underwater breathing, stuff like that. So trading post. I haven't heard too much about the trading post. You can get some Laughing Skull transmog options and stuff like that, and the transmog or the Laughing Skull faction to get some stuff for reputation. It also increases your overall reputation gains by 20%. So if you are doing kind of reputation grinding, I can see why having a trading post is particularly important. But if you're only looking to make gold, it's not like you are selling them stuff. They are selling you stuff for garrison resources. So yeah, and you can also trade your crafting reagents for garrison resources, not gold. So Yeah, I would use this if I want to get like reputation, but I wouldn't, not if you want to get gold. And the small. So this is probably where people are like, what do I do? Well, it's really easy. Get the buildings that complement your professions. So I'm a scribe and I'm herbalist. So scribe's quarters, check. Got that level 3 right away. I can start making my war paints and start selling some crazy staves and cool things with my inscription profession, which is great. Makes me a lot of money. Like Dark Moon cards, let me see if I have any on me. Yeah, I got a couple somewhere. Nah, I put it up. But anyway, Dark Moon cards, 10 war paints. I can pretty much get that in a day. You know, that's anywhere between 1,200 gold, or sorry, 1,000 to 2,000 gold or more, depending on the card. You can also make card sets, which go for ridiculous amounts of gold. And you can also make upgrade pieces. For example, if I was to make the Infernal Turret, this thing is worth anywhere between 20 and 60,000 gold on my server, but it takes a long time. 150 war paints, 15 savage bloods. So it's expensive, but you can make these types of items if you want. And to get the war paints you need, you're going to need to get one of these buildings, right? So that's kind of crucial. Other than that, if you do not have, let's say you're a gatherer and you're like, what the fuck do I do? Well, one option is to build, number one. Everybody, honestly, this is my favorite. I'm going to make a video just about the fucking salvage yard, okay? This is my favorite building in this entire thing, all right? Just because salvage you get from doing garrison missions. Salvage can contain anything. It can contain an upgrade for followers, resources for you for your professions. Like I get stacks of herbs all the time from salvage yard, and then random shit from the game. I'm talking completely random stuff. I got a page from, I guess it's a big thing in the RP community, but I got a bag. It was called or I got a book, like a book page. It was called A Steamy Romance Novel. It was a gray item, but you got to watch out for that shit because you're going to be like, oh, it's just gray, I'm just going to sell it. This one caught my eye. I looked on the auction house. Pages were going for 1,000 fucking gold a piece. Because I guess if you combine them, it makes a book that's pretty rare in the RP community. So anyway, that was awesome. And then I also got a rare, or an epic BOE level 200 item that goes for 2,000 gold on the fucking auction house. No lie. From the salvage yard. And a bunch of other crap like transmog stuff, greens, blues, just from all over the game, all types of items, sometimes hilarious, sometimes random. This is obviously one of the best buildings to have. You're going to get more gold because you're going to be able to sell grays, greens, blues, and epics if you can get epics, if you're lucky enough. And rare items that are hard to acquire in the game now. You're going to be able to get just, you know, grays and whites that don't have value but have like massive sale value. So you're going to start to increase your gold income from that. And overall, it's just, and you're going to get resources for your professions, which is great. Materials. So obviously, I'm a huge fan of the salvage yard. Enchanter study. This is another one that I would get if you just want gold and you don't know what, like if you don't do professions, I would get an enchanter study. You can, there's a disenchanting well at the enchanter study, and if you get a follower working there, like I got him working there, and he can actually give you one-hander and two-hander enchantment illusions to make your weapons look really badass. So this is a nice play, and you can also make shards, turn Dranic dust into shards, but I would honestly just sell the dust. That's just my opinion. And then obviously something that complement. And if you're looking for something else, like you can get, you know, a storehouse, which is like a bank, if you're interested in that. But I would go with something like the tannery, especially if you have a barn. Even if you do not have, like, if you do not have any professions, you have a barn that is collecting resources for you, and then you have a tannery which can use those resources and create more products. So you don't necessarily need to have it. You can also build forges or, you know, anything, alchemy labs, because you're going to have herb garden and you're going to have mines. So no matter what profession that you will have, there is options to create those resources without actually having the profession or buying them yourself. So you can use which combination that you really prefer, which one you want to go with, and you can rock it out. That's kind of like why these buildings are here. They're like to do these types of professions for you, so like you don't have to actually do it. You can just have followers to do it for you. Anyways, so in theory, main points to take away from it: barracks, war mill, stables, really awesome buildings. Not too sure about Goblin Workshop or Spirit Lodge. Barn, Gladiator Sanctum if you want to make money. Lumber mill if you want to get more resources to increase your followers levels. Tavern if you want to get more rare and epic followers. Get small buildings that complement, one small building that complements your profession. And if you do not have any else, get a salvage yard and an enchanter study. I am honestly, my opinion, always get a salvage yard. Like, I fucking just, it's really fun. You'll like it, and you'll probably start benefiting from it as soon as possible. It's not hard to get up to level 3. It only takes a few minutes. And before long, you're going to have a really cool base that's making you a lot of money. You're going to have followers that have extremely high item levels, and they're going to be able to do raids. Do you guys see that? I just lost a 100% chance mission. Are you serious? Anyway, you're going to get followers who are extremely high item level, who are able to do raids for you, and you're going to start to make a gold income that really only requires you to come in on a daily basis to play. And as long as you're doing that and upkeeping it, you're slowly going to start generating thousands of gold without actually spending too much time, which is always fun, I guess. If you're somebody like me who still wants to play Warcraft, but there's not a whole lot that you can do sometimes because you're, don't play that much, not as like some other people. Garrisons is a fun way to kind of keep into the game and make sure that you're kind of current with what's going on. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys found this useful, and if you did, let me know in the comment section below. See you guys.